Good evening, everyone. Thank you for stopping by Healing Conversations with Z. I'm Zuri Bibi, and we'll be having some good discussions tonight about some topics. I was going to talk about another topic, but while I did a reading before I turned on the camera, something else came up that I want to discuss, and it's curses. How does curses affect the inner child and the ability to heal the inner child? What curses are in your family line? Or because some people don't believe in curses, but uh, if it's something that you can trace back to somebody's uncle was a drinker, their granddaddy was a drinker, your daddy was a drinker, you know, that's curse. That's something that's, even though some people say, oh, they just like to curse, like to drink. No, that's a curse. Some kind of way, um, whatever the powers that be found a way to make that jump. Because it doesn't happen in every family, in every line of the family tree. But some people have issues. Just like some people like to beat on women, or women beat on men. And you hear the stories. Mama was beating on daddy, or I can tell you about. I had a neighbor that the man ran out the house and he was saying his wife was putting paint in the soup. Yes, she was putting paint in his soup. I remember that as a child. That's when I talked to the kids in the house. Yeah, it was some other issues with that, and there are issues with those kids as well. So apparently that it wasn't healed. But anyway, there are things, curses, and families that have affected you and whoever else is watching, that have affected you in ways that have stunted or hurt, healed you in your inner child. Maybe whatever was going on with those curses, those issues, things happened to you, you know. It happens, So let's get started. Oh, before I get started, I have a new subscriber, my very first subscriber. Yay! Um, Name is Mystic Blue. Thank you. Thank you for signing up to stop by Z's Healing Conversations. Hopefully you'll come by more often and listen to the conversations, and keep spread the message. Spread the pages. I'm here about talking about healing. No gimmicks. Straight. I'm plain. I don't have any gimmicks to try to do to get you to watch. Either you're gonna watch or you're not gonna watch. That's how I am. I'm not gonna push anybody big, or that's just the way I am. So I am gonna pull the cards a little differently for this reading, but I do have I have a new set of cards. We'll just see how it works out. But I did ask the ancestors about this, and the guides, and I'll shuffle on deck, online, on camera. I'm still getting this together so you can all see me. How can we be healed by curses? And it's by rebirth. This is the spiny-headed Matt Rush. Sorry about the glare. I'll read it. And that is number 10. I don't know if we had that before, but I'll read it. Okay, you need to refresh, rehydrate, and rebirth. How does this deal with curses and the inner child? Spiny-headed Mad Rush medicine allows you to understand and better comprehend the complexity of the situation. Sometimes we make things so difficult that to manage the situation becomes insurmountable. Often, this is an excuse for us not to undertake the challenging work and search for the answers that might require us to change our behavior or beliefs. Change is not easy and means leaving old ways behind to adapt new ways. Changing our ways can bring with it opportunity or just simply healing. But whatever the change is, know that it brings you closer to your recovery. Or upon reflection, this past situation kept you stuck in that moment of time, reliving the trauma of such a point that it was emotionally debilitating. Your fear of facing the future was unwarranted, and it's the reason you are holding yourself back. When you face your fears, you will quickly realize how much precious time you have wasted fearing the future. The way ahead is bright and wonderful. You need only put your fear aside and claim this future that is awaiting you. So, whatever the I forgot the word that I was talking about. Whatever the issue was in the past, um, you have to rethink how you're going to deal with it. You know, you got to go through it, face it, you know, and change it. You can change it, make it go back and rewrite it. You whatever the issue was, curse, couldn't remember the word. Whatever curse that you believe is affecting your family, you can go back in your inner child and correct it. You know, they tell you you can't correct the past. Yes, you can. You can correct the past. There are ways to do so. You have to go back into your inner child to do so. And once you do that, you know, because a lot of times people are fearful. Those things that have happened in the past, they were fearful, and you know, so you didn't address them. So, and because you didn't address them, they just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And whatever that curse was in the family, you know, because they jump. Once one curse come, a whole bunch of other ones come. And call them demons. Curse, demons. It's the same thing to me. Once you get one, you know, they got friends to say, come on, you can come on. And they jump on each other's back, and then they jump on you. You know, so, you know, you got to get unstuck in this thinking that, you know, this curse, you know, I can't get over this curse or whatever this issue that happened in our family, whatever the family line issue is. You have to figure out, you know, you have to deal with it. You just can't sweep it under the rug and say, okay, never mind, because it's an elephant. The elephant's in the room all the time, you know, until you decide to face it. And once you face it, you'll realize it wasn't really an elephant. It probably was a mouse, or even worse, it might have been an ant that just kept moving around and you just didn't catch it. What I want to do right now is I bought these other cards. They're from the Mystic Mudra. Mystic Mudra. And I just thought it would be a little different. These cards, they talk about, they give yoga poses, and the yoga poses are supposed to help you clear things in your body. And it also talks of, it gives a brief story about it. And then it has a word of encouragement or wisdom. So, oh wow. Got two today. I was getting ready to shuffle and two popped out. The first one is the sleeping angle pose, and it says, I speak my truth and allow the universe to light my way. You know, once you're dealing with, if you decide to face that issue, that curse, you know, Sometimes you have to speak about things and put it in the day. Whatever is hidden in the dark cannot stay in the dark. Lightness will pull it out. So if you speak on it, bring it into the light, you can deal with it. And once you speak your truth, the universe will guide you the rest of the way. Let's do this one. This is the boat pose. I feel complete peace from within. My mind is clear. So once you speak your truth, you feel, you'll feel a sense of peace, a sense of release, of not holding on to whatever the issue was, and it will assist you in healing your inner child. What else? What else can we do? What do our guys have to say about that? What do you have to say about dealing with curses, the inner child? It says, ask for guidance. If you don't know what to do, ask for guidance. Ask for help. Help is always available. Help is always available. You can ask, your higher, if you believe, I believe in God, with a higher power, the universe, other, tarot readers. It's a lot of people you can ask. But mainly, the thing of it is, that's just to get you started. The ultimate ending is you. You are the one that has to deal with it, because the healing is always going to start from within. And the healing, once you speak it out, that's the beginning of your healing of whatever that curse is. Because most times, when there's a curse, in the family, most people want to hush it up and not speak about it. So that just allows it to fester and grow. But the minute you speak the truth, you have to deal with it, and even though you may deal with it, hardship and things may happen. But in the long run, that will assist you in healing your inner child and causing you to move forward. Now, a lot of times people are saying, well, I don't think I really need to want to talk about, what happened with our family curses or our family issues. Yeah, maybe, uncle had a drug addiction, alcohol addiction, mental issues, physical abuse, sexual abuse, abandonment, just that's just to name a few. The things like that. People don't, they feel, oh, those things don't affect me. I'm not going to even, that's you just talking, and that's just a bunch of mess that you're speaking on. No, it's not, because those issues, you take them everywhere you go. Every relationship that you enter in, the effects of those issues go with you. You respond based on those issues. You might not believe it or not, but it's true. Let's see what's going on presently with the ancestors say. If you can deal with these issues, the family curse, if you put the family curse in front of you, speak it out. Like right now, currently, how can this assist you on your road of healing your inner child? And how can it allow you to help others? Because once you begin to heal yourself, you will know how to heal others. I can't use two, I only need one. Only need one card. I'm trying to get me two. Most people, once you start working on yourself, working on the things that you see, then you can look, your eyes become open to seeing things in other people. And it's not to say that when you see them, you start saying, oh, I see that's something wrong. I see that, and that. No, it's not that. It's just your ability to notice inner child issues in others will become more clear. And what you can do at that point is see how maybe, you might have those same issues. You can look within yourself and see, well, wait a minute, I see that in such and such. Is this the same thing in me? You know, with your twin, once you see certain behaviors, you have to think, wow, we are twins. Is this, with the things that are affecting me, is it affecting them? Because a lot of times you do deal with the same issues. It might not come about in the same way, but you are dealing with the same issues in one way, shape, or form. Okay, there we go. Once you begin to deal with the issues, currently your intuition will increase. And this is the kangaroo. And that's number 18. And actually it's number 9. It's a number 9. So that's the end, almost the end of the cycle. And that's funny. The spiny-headed mat rush was 10, which is completion or 1 beginning. Wow, it's deep. Let's keep going. Let me see what our ancestors have to say about number 8, the kangaroo, intuition. Intuitive, nurture, and protective. The kangaroo is a very intuitive animal and is always aware of what is happening in its environment. During times of drought, when food is scarce, female kangaroos do not have babies. This is a way of ensuring the survival of its young, as they will not starve. Female kangaroo does not see her young a burden as they grow and continue to rely on her long after their time for independence has arrived. She takes her parenting responsibilities seriously and will fight anyone who threatens her young. She is the ultimate mother, never shrinking from the burden of her obligations, even when the time has long passed for those who she is responsible for can easily fend for themselves. Current situation. Curse, family curses. Ask yourself who you are taking on the burden of responsibility for when they can well look after themselves. Somewhere along the way, you have forgotten why this has even happened. It's like you're on autopilot and haven't taken notice of what you're doing for some reason. Those around you can see the burden you are carrying, yet are too worried about saying anything, as you are fiercely committed to continuing on as is. It's finally time to let go and leave the situation to manage itself. You have done an excellent job getting this far, but you now need to allow the situation to run its course. Otherwise, those who you are protecting will never be able to grow and move forward from this situation. So, dealing with the curse, it's not your curse. They say the sins of the father fall on the son. Not true. It doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to carry that burden. That's not your burden. But you have to, like I said, heal the inner child so that you can say, this isn't me. Because somewhere along the line as a child, you probably felt that this was your issue too. And so you've accepted it as your curse as well, when it probably isn't. Not even probably, it wasn't. But because you took on that issue as yours, it's just added another burden onto you, and it's affecting you to this day. What do I want us to do now? Sometimes I'll go to the I'm gonna use the spirit animal. I know that I'm using the animals in the Aboriginal, but I bought this spirit animal guidebook, and I think a lot of times, when we ask for guidance, you know, nature is a way of dealing, you know, as a form of guidance. I can say for myself, since I've begun this journey, well, actually beforehand, because I can honestly say, my father, I think he's one of the ancestors that watches over me. His favorite animal was a bird. I remember him saying that as a child before he passed away. And I kid you not, I see birds everywhere. Everywhere. I didn't used to pay attention to it before, but I see birds all over. Even you know, a couple of years, birds were building nests in my on my patio. A couple of eggs and things like that. You know, but this is before I began my journey, and I didn't understand what was going on, why they were building nests in my patio, on my deck. It was kind of not in. Now that I think about it now, you know, it's really deep. You know, I see birds, I see geese, ducks, um, what else? I've seen a beaver out this way, um, moles, um, what else? Rabbits. Um, there's a falcon. I haven't seen it in a while. There's a falcon out this way. Beautiful bird. When I see that bird, it makes me think of my father. Crows. I see all kind of birds. But you know, a lot of times, you know, you hear people say you should walk out in nature. You learn a lot about yourself when you're in nature. You know, trees. That's one of the reasons why I do like my deck of choice, the wild unknown, because it really doesn't have people in it, you know, and I can focus on other issues, because once I see in the decks that they have the people in them, I, you know, it automatically makes me think of love situation, or you know, whereas when I'm dealing with the animals, it could be a universal, you know, person. I mean, you know, I can look at things in a more abstract way, and I think it's pretty, you know, I think that's pretty cool. So, and you know, with me talking and all this, get up. Let me see what animal pops up. You know, what animal could you use to help assist one in dealing with family curses and how to heal your inner child. Oh wow, hyena. What do you think about when you see the hyena? You know, I think about, and I'll talk about it before I put the card out, because I don't know what the book is going to say about this animal. But when I look at this card, I look at a sneaky, cunning animal. Hyenas they are cold. They will come and steal food from a lion if they can. When they eat, they can crush bone. They eat the bone. You know, a lot of animals will eat the meat and discard the bones. Not a hyena. They eat it all. Also, when we looking at this, I see the moon, and it's half. You know, I'm gonna look up these moons. We just had a certain kind of moon the other day, and it had people acting crazy. I mean, I already knew people was gonna act crazy. I was prepared. But let me get back to this. When I look at this animal, I see its teeth, and the fur is wild, like it's been through a lot, rough life. But it's a survivor. Hyenas are survivors. That's what I get from this. Let's see what the books has to say about this. And this is a symbol here. And if I'm not mistaken, it might be Earth, but I could be wrong. And let's see. It's fire. This symbol means fire. And it is the creatures of the desert and grasslands. And this creature, I didn't even, I won't, I'll get to what it actually says for the hyena, but it says, the creatures of the fire element lead us toward change. They represent the ego and challenge us to become our best selves. Although these cards appear more frequently when conflict or discomfort is present, the heat they emit is the exterior of our transformation. Several five cards, well, I only pulled one. We're not talking about that. But anyway, um, wow, I'll read this part. I'll read it all. Several fire cards indicate the heat is on. It's a time of action and change. Deadlines and demands are around every turn, but it's all in the name of growth. You'll look back on it in awe of all that was accomplished. When all else fails, remember fire is the only thing that transforms darkness into light. Didn't I just talk about whatever is in the dark? It has to come out into the light. Transformation. Okay, so let's actually see what it says for this animal, hyena. Humor, wit, and sarcasm. Wow. The hyena personality is a jokester and crowd pleaser, but below the surface there are unfulfilled dreams to be realized. When the hyena card appears, it's time to reflect on your reliance on sarcasm and humor to express your truth. Are you using jokes to hide old resentments in relationships or to mask things that you feel uncomfortable discussing? What would happen if you took your goals seriously? Wow, so curses, Some people use humor and sarcasm. Maybe that's what you did, to deal with the family curse. Interesting. When you're in balance, you're charming, witty, and fun to be around. When you're out of balance, scrappy, petty, and suspicious. To bring it into balance, sobriety. You have to sober, get real about the situation. Interesting. All right. So what I'll do, I'll pull a few cards. I want to know what Spirit has to say about how this affects the twin flame community. How does it affect you in your relationship with others? Whether, co-workers, family, significant other, yourself. How does it affect you? Because like I said, this is a healing conversation channel, and we want to talk about how we can heal ourselves. A lot of people, they want to be with their loved one, their significant other, and if you do the right, if you do right, you won't have to worry about that. My thing is, you have to heal yourself first. You heal yourself. You can go to others for guidance, but you take that information